Today's mobility session is going to be all about the hips and opening up your lower body. So we're going to do 3 different stretches for 2 minutes each. I'm going to give you recommendations, but you move as feels best for you. The first stretch is going to be a lunge stretch. So you can place your right heel just underneath your knee and your left leg directly behind you. Make sure that your hips are square. You can either point your toes or tuck them under, but we're focused here on engaging our muscles. So we're not trying to do passive stretches, we're trying to keep them active by squeezing our muscles as we stretch. If it's in your practice, you can put your hands on your hips and try and push your hips just a little bit lower. You can reach back and grab your foot or ankle, or you can just stay in the regular lunge stretch and try to focus on squeezing your muscles. So you are trying to dig your left knee into the ground. You're trying to force your right knee open and out. And you're using the muscles of your hip to do this. Make sure your spine is long and your breath is deep. If it feels good, you can place your right hand onto your knee and push that knee outwards to open up those hips. Make sure you keep that breath going nice and smooth. If it feels good, you can rotate one way or the other. Even lean back slightly to feel a stretch in your abdominal muscles. That back foot, you can tuck the toes under to engage that leg a bit more, or you can keep it relaxed. We're really just focused on trying to open up those hips and keep it active by squeezing our muscles however we can. For the next stretch, we're just going to switch sides and get that lunge stretch on the other side. Focus on breathing and keeping your spine long and tall. You can tuck those back toes under of your right leg or keep it flat and relaxed. It's up to you. Put your hands on your hips and push your hips down. We're trying to open up the hips by pulling the femur, our upper leg bone, out of the hip socket, the acetabulum. If it feels good, you can reach back and grab that back ankle or foot. If it's in your practice, you can go one way or the other, or even put both hands on that back ankle. Really forcing your left knee open and to the side. You can do a combo of reaching back and grabbing that leg and reaching up above you. Or as I said, reach behind you with both hands. This is going to be a great leg stretch, also a shoulder stretch. Make sure your breath is deep. If it feels good, you can place your right hand down, place your left hand on your left knee, and push that knee out and open. Moving as you feel comfortable and as it feels best for your body. Really trying to keep the stretch active by squeezing your right quadricep and using the muscles of your left leg to push your left leg out and open to the side. You can rotate from one side to the other or just stay facing forward. The next stretch is going to be a hurdler stretch. So you're going to extend your right leg out in front of you and tuck that left leg back behind you. So just holding this position might be a pretty intense stretch for you. I know it is for a lot of people. What I want you to focus on is as you're in this position, try to sit tall. Try to lengthen your spine. Try to calm your breath. You should feel a stretch in your right calf or hamstring and your left hip. Try to spread your legs apart as wide as you can. Then what we're going to do is we're going to focus on that right leg. So we're going to squeeze that right quadricep. We're going to squeeze it, tighten it up, Squeeze that muscle and relax. That's called proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. All it means is that we squeeze that right leg, squeeze it again, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. We're just squeezing the muscle as we stretch. It is a much more effective way to increase your flexibility and mobility. If it's in your practice, you can do a slight side bend towards that front leg, or grab your front foot. You can also reach back towards that back leg, or side bend back towards that back leg. Always keeping your breath nice and steady. We're going to squeeze that right quadricep one more time. Squeeze it up, squeeze tight, 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 tight. You can even bend and flex that right foot. Breathe. Move as you feel comfortable. I'm going to do another quadricep squeeze. Squeeze your right quad. Try to straighten your leg as much as you can and lean into it. Next, we are going to switch sides. So you're going to extend your left leg forward and bend your right leg back behind you. We're just switching sides. Again, as soon as you switch sides, you might say, Tom, I don't need to do anything else. This position alone is intense. That's great. Stay in this position and try to squeeze your muscles. So the way that you should be thinking of stretching is your left leg, your front leg, is going out and it's going straight. Your right leg or your back leg is going back behind you and as straight as you can get, more or less. What we're going to do is we're going to squeeze our left quadricep. You're going to try and straighten that leg. Squeeze that left quad, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, and relax and breathe. Again, you can do side bends. You can reach for your feet. But always make sure that your breath is slow and steady and your spine is long. Again, we're going to squeeze that left quadricep. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. This is that PNF stretching. And relax. PNF stretching, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, is far superior to passive stretching. So anytime you hold a stretch, try to think, how can I squeeze the muscle? What can I do to make this stretch more muscular, more active, instead of just sitting around? You might feel this a lot in your back hip as well, and it's cool to combine stretching with massage, so you can massage that back hip. It might feel really good. Same thing with that front leg. If you feel it a lot in your calf, you can massage that front leg a little bit. It might feel really good. Remember to move as you feel comfortable. Sometimes I like to flow. I like to lean forward and come up and try and engage my muscles. However you can keep this active is going to be more effective. The next stretch is going to be the frog stretch. This is one of the least favorite stretches for a lot of people because it's usually very intense. You're going to lay on your stomach, get your legs nice and wide, your knees nice and wide. Try to keep your feet in line with your knees, meaning your shins are straight behind you. Extend as wide as you can with those knees and then push your hips forward slightly. For this one, you're focused on bringing your knees out and wide and open. So try to use your muscles of your hips and your glutes to spread your legs apart and try to almost lift your knees off the mat. Try to lift them up. It'll make it way more effective if you engage your leg muscles as you do this. Make sure your spine is long and you're breathing deep. Keep it active. Keep trying to squeeze those muscles. You can flow forward and back. You can flow side to side. A thing that I really like to do is to try and stay in this frog stretch, but lift up your feet and rotate into that hip, that acetabulum, and try to move around in those hips as best you can. Always feeling the stretch on your inner thighs and your groin. Keep that breath long and deep. Try to squeeze those muscles. Just a few more seconds to stay in there. Give it everything you have. Squeeze those muscles. Focus on your breath. Try to pull those legs apart. Get those knees wide. You can sit back or sit forward. Woohoo! We are done with our 10-minute mobility. That was a great job. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe for more similar content. I'll be putting out more mobility content, more workouts. I would love to hear your feedback for this video. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.